Welcome back to Roger That Garage. On this episode, I am taking this distributor I bought at the swap meet at Matt's, a nice stock factory unit, electronic, and I am going to be swapping it out for this PROFORM aftermarket cheapo distributor. It works fine. It's been working fine. It's just, I don't know. I don't trust it. I'd rather have a good factory distributor in there. This one looks really clean. Bought it for like 20 bucks at the swap meet there at Matt's. Just taking it apart and cleaning it up real good. He had a big pile of them. This one was the only one I could find that the vacuum pod was working for the vacuum advance. Alright, it's Saturday now and the kids are kind of busy, so I'm running them around and the weather's not very good outside, so it's not very nice for driving. So I'm kind of stuck in the garage today tinkering. That's okay, I like to tinker on stuff. That's how I make stuff in good shape and work good, just from tinkering around. I get this. This actually is known in some parts of the country as a lightning whirler. So getting this all greased up, ready to put back together. Moves a lot, but I just put normal automotive grease, then I put a little bit of oil on the felt there, a couple of drops. So that moves nice and free now. I know there's a mod, I actually did it on my D200 to weld one of those holes halfway shut so it doesn't have so much of such a long range of advance. So you can set the initial timing a little bit higher, but this, I don't know if the spring is a real stiff one or something, but it doesn't really want to even move all the way down that slot there. So I think I'll just leave it, run it how it is. So got that greased up, gonna clean this up a little bit more, put it back together. Then I might start it up and put a timing light on it. I think it's at 10 degrees right now initial, but I'll verify that so that I can put it back close when I swap the distributors out. So, but it'll be fun to put them side by side just to see what the quality difference is between original factory and reproduction aftermarket stuff. So let the tinkering continue. So it looks like it's 9 degrees initial and about 38 degrees total. So that's interesting. We'll see what the stock one is like. I'm gonna pull this one out and we'll compare them side by side right now. It's snowing again. Man, I'm getting spring fever so bad. Okay, I got them side by side now. Looks like they are clocked. Pretty much the same. There's the tab. It's a little bit to the right. I don't know. Am I crazy for wanting to put a factory one in rather than this PROFORM thing? I mean, it looks okay. Decent quality. I don't know. What would you do? OEM or is PROFORM good stuff? I'm going to look at them a little closer. Okay, I've got both of them chucked up in the vise here. I'm just feeling the advance. This is so smooth and nice. This feels a little chunky and catchy. Just not as nice and precise. But the travel is very similar, I guess. But yeah, man, that one might travel a little farther. But yeah, the original was really smooth. That right there makes me feel good about switching to OEM. But man, they're really, like all the parts look almost identical. It's a very good reproduction unit. I mean, look at that. But I just think the fit and finish is a little nicer on the original. I mean, that is just not smooth. Look at that. Maybe I need to grease the things down inside. But I don't know. I just think this is just higher quality. This is made in, I was reading on the line in Taiwan or something. So I'm gonna take them out, just spin them, see how they feel. So the OEM Mopar, a little bit of resistance, but it spins pretty nice, I guess. A little bit up and down, a lot of bit of up and down play. Not really any side to side though, so we'll look at the PROFORM unit. Ooh, that does spin nice. Lower resistance. I think I was reading that it has bearings. This one has been out of an engine for a long time. This one was just in it, so maybe there's more oil up in there. So it spins nicer. Similar up and down play. Maybe a slight bit of side to side. So that's kind of interesting. But I think I'm gonna just throw this in and see how the curve feels and stuff. Here, I'll do a vacuum pod test. See if the travel looks any different. That's a factory unit. Here's PROFORM. Looks to me like the factory has a little more travel. This factory one, the rotor on it looks really in pretty good shape. I cleaned up the tip a little bit, so I think I'll just leave that in there. Maybe put a little dielectric grease on the top where the little button goes on. Definitely looks higher quality than the PROFORM. Looks cheaper. Not as good a quality. So I'm gonna pull this off real quick. Man, it is very close looking to the factory. It's a pretty big gap on the pickup. I didn't tune anything when I bought this. I didn't know anything about it. I just threw it in the car. But that is a pretty large gap. Alright, this one's ready to go in. I looked up the specs for the reluctor to the pickup was 8 thousandths. So I got that set good. The PROFORM was way off. I don't know if it's supposed to be that like that. I never set it or adjusted it when I got it. So it ran fine though. So maybe it'll run even better. But okay, the distributor is in, all hooked up. I'm gonna do the Mopar thing and start it right here in the engine bay. Hopefully I got the timing close so it'll start, and then we'll check the timing. Hey, it started right up. I took it for a quick test drive out on the highway and back, and it just seems kind of lazy. It doesn't have that snappy response like it used to have. I think because the full advance comes in later, and I have to set the initial low because it's got such a long advancement. It takes forever for the total to get in that it's just kind of lazy. It does drive really nice and smooth when you're just driving around, but so I guess what I've learned is OEM distributors, higher quality parts, but it's got a really spread out curve for stock situation. This is not that far from stock, but maybe it's enough. But the PROFORM distributor has a pretty good performance curve built into it. So I'm gonna take the other one back out, take it apart. I'll either modify the curve on that one, or here's a comparison of the PROFORM versus the stock, all the taken apart here. You can see the vacuum advance on the PROFORM is just feels kind of thin and cheapy and lighter. I don't know if there's a difference in how it works with the vacuum, whatever. The pickup, just a little thinner, just seems a little flimsier, a little cheaper. And the OEM's a little more substantial. You can tell it's a little higher quality. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, I've learned a ton here. Right now I have the factory distributor in. I guess I forgot or I didn't know that you're supposed to disconnect the vacuum advance to get the correct reading on the total timing. So the PROFORM, like I said, was like 34 or 5 degrees total. I don't know what this factory one is, closer to like 38, 39 degrees. So what I did was I popped out the stiff spring, and I only have one light spring, original spring in there now. The PROFORM is all back together, complete with its original springs and everything. So I'm gonna try this setup with the stiffer spring being gone. It goes into advanced a lot quicker. It was like, I forgot, I just checked it, but it was like 2,700 RPMs or something. It was all in on the timing. So where the PROFORM was more like 3,200 RPMs all in. So I'm gonna see how this runs. All right, I just dropped my boy off at baseball practice, cruising in the D200. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I learned a lot about distributors. Right now, so currently I just put the PROFORM back in the CUDA because it has a nice modern curve to it. It's well, not modern, but high performance curve compared to what the OEM chrysler ones had. So it's happy at 10 degrees of initial timing, and total timing is like right around 34, 35, maybe 36 degrees. So I decided to go with that. The stock one I bought to swap meet, it has it's like 39 degrees total timing. Maybe that's a little too much from what I hear. I don't know. So I decided just to put the PROFORM back in it and run that. It ran great on it. Some of the parts are maybe a little cheaper, a little, I don't know, less reliable maybe. Not from what I've heard. I don't know. I've never heard of them failing. You look on the internet, you can find anything. But so I decided to keep the PROFORM, but what I am going to do is put the stock one, I'll take it with me if I go on a long trip or something as a backup. I just got a thumbs up. I don't get as much attention driving the D200 as I do in the Barracuda, but I get some love in the old Dodge D200. But yeah, so anyway, I learned a lot about distributors and timing curves. I guess I went into it thinking that the stock distributor was going to be way better, but I kind of forgot about their wide timing curve that they have. The one on this truck, the D200, it's crazy. The one on the D200 here was way wide of a curve. It was like 60 degrees total, 50, 60 degrees. Maybe it's 50, but so I welded up half the slot on it, and then it was only like maybe making 20 degrees total timing. I guess that's more for high performance applications where you need a lot of initial timing, big cams and whatnot. So I actually filed the slot open more, and now she's got 30 degrees, maybe a touch more. I could open it up a little bit more, but I'm just gonna see how it runs. Give me a little more advance on the higher RPMs. So here we are, get some gasoline for the thirsty old 400 big block. So here's what I recommend on comparing those distributors. If you've already got one of those factory stock distributors, maybe pull the stiffer spring out of it. Maybe close up one of those slots a little bit if it's got a wide timing curve, but just use it. If you don't have a factory distributor, then yeah, grab yourself a PROFORM. They come in a whole kit with the control module thing and something else. I don't know, what do they call that? Like, it's not the little orange box, the electronic control module thing. So, and it was like 125 bucks or something, really cheap, but some decent performance. Maybe carry some spare parts, spare one with you if you're going on a long trip or something. Because I did try to fit the pickup inside from the stock one to the PROFORM, and it didn't really want to. You could probably massage it, get it to fit there, but like the reluctor wheel from the stock one, it just would fall right on there. There was no like press fit to it. So, but you wouldn't really need to change the reluctor anyway. Really, the only thing that could go bad is that pickup on it. So yeah, that's my opinion on it anyway. I'm just gonna keep running the PROFORM, and like I said, if I go on a long trip, I will take the stock one, throw it in a bag or something with some other parts, and that's what it's gonna be. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Over and out.